Hi, my name is Heather Washburn, and I'm the Vice President of Academic Achievement and Accessibility for Great Hearts America. And this afternoon, we're here with Ian Rowe. Ian, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Great to see you, Heather. My name is Ian Rowe. I lead and founded a school called Vertex Partnership Academies, which is a virtues-based international baccalaureate public charter high school in the Soundview section of the Bronx.
Thinking about Vertex, we know that Aristotle says the activity of the soul in accordance with virtue leads to happiness. Can you explain to us how you set a foundation of virtue for your students and how that leads to their success academically and in life?
One of the most important things that we are trying to do in our school is to cultivate a sense of agency within our students. And the way that we define agency is it's the force of your free will guided by moral discernment. The force of your free will guided by moral discernment. So if you think of agency like a vector or velocity, where velocity is not just speed, it's speed and direction. The question is, how do we help our students exercise their free will? In what direction? And we think the way to do that is to ground the education in the cardinal virtues of courage, justice, temperance, and wisdom. And we chose the cardinal virtues because those are the foundational virtues upon which all other standards of moral excellence are built.
I know you have your students say kind of a morning recitation based on the virtues. How did you define what they would say, and how do they respond to saying that each day?
Yeah, in our first couple of years when we focused on the virtues, courage, justice, temperance, and wisdom, we actually discovered that different students or different faculty had different definitions for what they meant. And we decided it was important for us as an institution to plant a flag. So we have what we call our I statements. So regularly our students, for example, for courage, the I statement is I reject victimhood and boldly persevere even in times of uncertainty and struggle. Or temperance is I lead my life with self-discipline because I am responsible for my learning and behavior. We found the practice of our students reciting those virtues, those I statements, in unison. So it becomes more than just a statement that you might think about in your head, but it becomes this collective experience for what we're all committing to and what we want our behavior to be with each other.
So Ian, how does that collective community focus impact the lives of students?
The way that the virtues impacts the lives of our students is that we have what we call common virtue. There's a commitment. The justice is all about individual dignity and our common humanity. There's a certain respect that we can actually agree to disagree, but do it in such a way that recognizes our common humanity. So often our society is balkanized. It's looking to divide our students or faculty into different identity groups. And our virtues, our common virtues, allows us to see each other as individuals, worthy of dignity, our common humanity. And so we think it helps to create a much more unified community because we're first focused on the values and the virtues that bind, not the things that tear us apart.
In society, we talk a lot nowadays about buy-in. How do we get the buy-in? Especially in a culture that says that there isn't necessarily truth, or that there's not a common idea of the good. So how do you lead your students, especially high school students who may have a bit of cynicism, to buy into the idea of that common pursuit of virtue?
Well, one of our cardinal virtues is wisdom, and the I statement there is I make sound judgments based on objective, universal truth. It's one of the things that we say, there's not a relativism. There are some things that are just absolutely true. There's some things that are true, good, and beautiful. And we think our students deserve to have access to the knowledge worth knowing. And once they get access to it, the buy-in sort of happens. They actually see the beauty of wisdom, of courage, of temperance, of justice, because when you read great literature or great biographies of a wide range of characters that have exercised those virtues to lead their lives, and you see the benefit that comes from it, our students want to have access to it for their own lives.
Something interesting about your approach is the idea that there's a success sequence, and you talk to parents about that. Can you walk us through how you engage with parents?
Yeah. In addition to our virtues-based education, which is very important for moral formation, we also think it's very important that our students have access to great information related to life decision making. We have this concept called the life deciding decade, age 14 to 24, when young people are making decisions about their education, relationships, faith formation, work that they might be interested in, and the decisions that they make during that period of time, the quality of the decisions they make during that period of time has huge influence over the quality of the rest of their life. So we think it's very important to provide key data and key evidence to help young people make good decisions. One piece of data that we teach our kids about is something called the success sequence. That's data that says if a young person completes just a high school degree, then gets a full-time job of any kind, so they learn the dignity and discipline of work, and then if they have children, if they get married first, that series of decisions, education, then work, then marriage, then children, 97% of young people that pursue those decisions avoid poverty, and the vast majority enter the middle class or beyond. And we think it's really important not only to educate our students about that, but also their parents, to let them know that this is information that we'll be teaching them. Because for many of our parents, those aren't necessarily the decisions that they made in their own lives. But when we ask them, when we engage parents, they say, thank God someone is teaching this to my children because I wish I had learned it when I was in school.
Well, Ian, thank you so much for joining us and for all that you shared with us today. It's a very meaningful work that you're doing, and we're excited to learn from you and hopefully partner with you in some things down the road.
Oh, thank you. Great honor to be here.
All right, thank you.
Okay.